the podcast where we spark powerful change in women's wealth. I'm Hadriana Leo, a wealth coach, counselor, and strategist. And each week we dive into the conversations, strategies, and stories that help women confidently create the life they've always dreamed of. So grab your favorite bevy, settle in, and let's get started on transforming your relationship with money. This is Catalyst Conversations, igniting change in women's wealth. Let's spark the conversation. Hi, everyone, and welcome to this episode of Catalyst Conversations. I'm your host, Hadriana Leo, and today I'm going to share with you my 2 cents on personal spending and all of the emotions that go along with that. So let's dive right in. Let's start by sharing an experience I had. So a few years ago, I knew it was time for me to get a new vehicle, and I like cars. I like them fast. I like them sleek. So this presented an opportunity for me, and I kind of had to make the decision of which vehicle I would purchase. So humming and hawing, I had lots of experience with, secondhand, low quality budget cars. And I thought, you know what? This is an opportunity for me to get something that I actually choose. So I did the research along with my daughters. We looked at different models, we looked at different vehicles, and I made the choice for the vehicle that we did. It is a beaut, and I love it. I still love it to this day. It is working out beautifully. No buyer's remorse here, except when I was making the decision. In selecting the vehicle that I did, there were all kinds of emotions. And when I say all kinds of emotions, there were all. On the one hand, I was so excited. This would be my very first experience with buying a new car. I always had them new to you, but I'd never had a new car before. And this was a novel experience. So you had all of this excitement, this newness, this novelty. And then on the flip side, there was this, oh my goodness, but this money could do something else. This money, what if, I need something and the money's not there? Because the other part of the decision was I was not going to borrow to do this. I was going to use an asset and just transition this asset and liquidate and so on. So I would owe nothing after I'd made this purchase. There would be no loan payments that I'd have to be taking care of. It was a great feeling. But then, the question marks came. This was entirely a for Hadriana decision, and the guilt was not far behind. The idea of, oh, but I could have done something else. Oh, but I should have. I could have contributed to this, or I could have saved it for that, and what have you. And this whole experience was kind of, I wouldn't say that it was tarnished entirely, but the experience of doing this one thing for myself was definitely compromised to some degree because of the feeling of guilt that I had in doing this for myself. But you might be saying to yourself, okay, well, wow, great, you have a new car, yippee. Well, I also have that experience if I decide that I'm going to have a massage, or if I decide, you know what, every day this week I'm going to have Starbucks because I want to, because I feel like I really enjoy it and I get to make it exactly the way I like, so I'm going to do that. This might be a similar situation for you. And I know it is definitely a situation that many women experience. And it is the idea of spending on ourselves being a bad thing. Now, I understand it because I've experienced it, but I will also say to you that I work hard to not fall into that way of thinking anymore. I work hard to remind myself that when I am in a financially stable situation, and when I say stability, that doesn't mean debt free and all of that, but when I have a plan and I'm working the plan, I have a right, I dare say, an obligation to have my money work for me in ways that bring me joy and in ways that fill me up and fulfill me. So I am still a work in progress here. And I'd love to share with you what's working, where the challenges may be, and how we can get over this whole narrative of feeling guilty when we spend money on ourselves. It's time to retire it, pack it away, and don't put it in a storage. Take it to the incinerator and burn that thing up. Yes, I said it. So let's start with why we feel this way. To no one's surprise, and I'm guessing we all know this, but we have been conditioned to feel that way. As women, as people who face the world as women, as females, we are conditioned to be nurturers, and we have been conditioned to think that taking care of ourselves is selfish. And that continues. I mean, the whole household is sick, but mom has to be the one taking care of everyone because mom doesn't have time to be sick. Mom has to make sure everyone else is well. We don't even have time to understand that our head is hurting, we are feverish, and that we need a rest in order to get better. We don't give that to ourselves because we think everyone else needs us. We can't take a break. That sense of nurturing expands to our money. Everyone gets to have what they want, what they need before you do. And what happens there? We don't get to live a life with that is full of joy. Our money doesn't create that for us because our money is busy taking care of everyone else. And then we start to get resentful. We start to get beat down, and we start feeling as if we are unworthy. And that couldn't be further from the truth. That societal conditioning has led to this myth of martyrdom in our finances that is messing women up left and right. It is part and parcel of the reasoning behind why women, we don't ask for a raise, we don't negotiate our salaries, we don't spend the time or the money on ourselves. It's part and parcel of why we always feel deprived and at the wrong end of the bargaining table when it comes to our money. Why do you think women come out of divorce in such horrible financial states? Because we don't ask for what we want. We just want to have it over with. We're so tired, we're so worn out. And then when we do ask for what we desire and deserve, we get branded and called names. This martyrdom myth, it's taught as financial responsibility, taking care of the things that are needed instead of taking care of what we need. But that is not true. Financial responsibility does not mean sacrifice and deprivation. It does not mean that you have to give up everything that brings you joy so that everyone else can have the joy and have the fulfillment, and be full when it comes to their lives while you lay empty and no one's pouring into you financially or otherwise. That myth of martyrdom and that social conditioning, it leads to guilt, and guilt that is unhealthy, it's uncomfortable, and it is the cause of financial burnout. It is the cause of that unhealthy relationship with money, and it directly contradicts your stated goal of financial freedom. If you are going after financial freedom, but you are unable or unwilling or just conditioned to not take care of yourself financially, you are chasing after opposing desires, which is a recipe for nothing getting done and all kinds of complex emotional outcomes. So, guilt, it's not just a feeling, it's an actual barrier to you getting the results that you desire. So, how about we change that? How about we write our own narrative? How about we tell the story in a way that is authentic to us and in a way that takes care of our needs? I dare say, if we can take care of ourselves, we are better positioned to take care of others. If we can take care of the needs that we have, we are energized, we are equipped to take care of others. So let's start talking some truth about why spending on yourself is actually a beautiful wealth building strategy because it empowers you and it gives you purposeful drive. Let's dive into it. One, it helps to have you refueled and filled up, energized, ready to face the world, ready to spend on the things that actually give you reason to get up and go again. Guess what? You need that joy. You need the rest. You need that time away. You need to have the energy. So, whether it means spending money on a vacation or spending money on a cleaner to take care of your house, or even spending money on a course, on a program to help you do better, earn better, make better spending decisions, make better earning decisions, start a business, whatever it is, spending that money on yourself is a fantastic way to refill your tank so that you have a full cup from which to pour. Another reason why spending on yourself is a fantastic wealth building strategy is because it breaks that scarcity mindset. Listen, I'm not asking you to go out there and spend crazy. I'm asking you to exemplify the fact that you do not live in a world of lack. You live in a world where provision is made and abundance is yours. So, why are we feeding the scarcity mindset? Let's squash it. Let's break it. Let's move away from that scarcity mindset. Joyfully spend on yourself in a way that is really, truly responsible so that you have an experience with your money that says, truly, I believe that there is enough. We have to move away from, oh, I don't have enough money. They don't have enough money. There's never enough money. I don't have this. I don't have that. No, let's move to the place where we set up a plan, we work our plan, and we acknowledge that within that prescribed plan, there is enough. I dare say there is more than enough. Let's just cancel out that scarcity mindset. Don't feed that scarcity beast. Instead, blossom that flower of abundance. And the more you can do that, the more you reinforce the truth that there is for you more than enough. And finally, why is spending on yourself a fantastic wealth building strategy? Because it aligns with your values. Because you're actually using your money to spend on the things that create the value alignment that you need. When you spend on you, you are spending based on the things that are important to you, not the things someone somewhere said is what you should have. You're actually spending based on what you want. And that is the easiest way to bring alignment to your spending. You don't have to do it in consultation. You don't have to do it with consideration for anyone else. You have the plan, you're working the plan, we're going to spend money in a way that aligns with and brings you closer to the things that you value. I personally believe that living a values aligned financial life, it is a game changer on your wealth journey. If you haven't yet done it, you absolutely should try it. Making spending decisions based on values alignment, you will never be the same again. And yes, your mortgage payment, your utility bills, all of the saving and investing decisions you make, yes, they are all values aligned decisions. Now we just need to move that over to spending on the things that bring you joy, spending on the things that you can acknowledge help fill you up. And then when you have done this, when you can do that, you will have an experience with money that is just out of this world. It has nothing to do with how much you spend. Let me be clear. It's not about buying the thousands of dollars, Gucci, this or that. That's not what it is. It's about spending, whether it's $5 or $5,000, on things that you value that bring you joy. I think to myself, on my walls, I have artwork. Let's call it artwork. I have those that I got from a dollar store, and I have those that I got from an art gallery. They're all there side by side. I even have some that I painted myself. No, you don't want to see it, but it's hanging on the wall because it has nothing to do with how much I spent on it. They're hanging on the wall because they have value to me. They have meaning to me. And when I look at it, it says something to me. So it's not about how much money it is. It's not a dollar value. It is your core values that need to be reflected in how you spend your money. And that's where you need to bring alignment. So how about we release that guilt? How about we take on a revolutionary stance and say, I am worth it. Yes. Not Maybelline or L'Oreal or whoever it was who said it, but you are worth the spend. You are worth the expense. In fact, you are worth the investment of spending on yourself and creating joy, creating fullness, creating fulfillment, and purpose realization as you use your money. Stop being a martyr. We've had enough of those. And when it comes to your finances, nobody needs a martyr there. Yes, you're going to want to take care of those that are important to you within your circle of influence. Absolutely. But it does not have to be at the expense of spending money on yourself. So, how about for the next few weeks, you challenge yourself? I will challenge you. Schedule some time and plan a guilt-free expense that you can have that'll just fill you up. You will find great joy in it. And you can fill yourself so that you can go out there and be. And should add this. You don't have to do this so you can go out there and do anything. You can just do it because you want to do it. You can just have this experience because you want to have the experience. It has nothing to do with whether or not, I need this massage so I can really do the 10K that the kids are this, that, or the other. No, 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 no. It's about you. You're not going to have the experience so that you can turn around and become a martyr all over again. You're going to have this experience just because. That's it, that's all. Nothing else required. So go ahead, plan for that wonderful guilt-free experience within the next few weeks, no matter how small it is, and spark some change in your wealth journey. Spark change to that narrative of guilt and create a life that is fulfilling, that is joyful, and that actually pours into you for a change. And see how that goes. Let me know in the comments how it went. And until we meet again, I look forward to sharing more tips with you For now, this has been my 2 cents. Take care. Thank you for joining me today on Catalyst Conversations. I hope this episode sparked something powerful to help on your journey to building wealth confidently and unapologetically. If you loved today's conversation, be sure to subscribe so you never miss an episode. And if something resonated with you, I'd love to hear about it. Let's keep the conversation going. Until next time, keep moving toward your goals, stay empowered, and continue sparking change on your wealth journey. This is Hadriana, and you've been listening to Catalyst Conversations.